Hi there, this is Miss Gammon, so Manon Gammon-Deering. I am the wellness teacher at Little Falls Community Middle School, and I had a really great experience creating classroom codes with my third quarter classes, so I wanted to share a little bit more with all of you. I created this slideshow just to give us some information and some visuals. This is how I set up the process. So on my whiteboard, I made a section that says look, sound, and feel. And the students were asked to write a response for each category, color-coded with the Post-it notes, and then go slap it up on the board. Each student was encouraged / pretty much required to submit an answer so that we could have everyone's voice and everyone could be a participant. After they were put on the board, we organized them into categories, so you can see how I actually circled them and grouped them according to similarities. And then they helped me, so we did it as a group, come up with these statements such as we will balance calm and fun energy. So how we achieved those, or how we arrived at those statements or classroom codes was I said, okay, so in your dream classroom, if you walked in this door, what is your dream? What do you want it to look like? What's your dream? What do you want it to sound like? In your ideal classroom, what do you want it to feel like? Then they submitted their answers and I said, okay, the people have spoken. This is what you guys want. This is what this 6th grade class wants when they walk into my wellness class. How can we make this happen? And then that's how we came up with all of the we will. So I want it to look calm and clean and organized. Okay, that means we will, as a group, keep our classroom clean and organized. And that means that you are part of this classroom when you walk in. So if you have your own materials clean and organized, you're contributing to keeping our whole room clean and organized. So that's just an example of how we really walk through each expectation or each classroom code. And again, I kept reminding them, this is what you voted for, so what can we do as a group to make this dream come true? What can we do each day to make these things a reality? So that's a bit about the process. After we created these, students were asked to pick one that they connected with or one that they liked and create a visual. So they wrote it down and decorated it. To just kind of add to the challenge, I said that they could only choose 2 markers. So it was a 2-marker challenge and they had to make it as beautiful as possible with just 2 colors. And then they hung it in the classroom so we have visuals and we can refer back to those. It also is just kind of a fun way for them to interact with the classroom code and make it a little bit more real or solidified in their brain by interacting with it, putting it on paper, making it their own. So then on this same slideshow, I typed up each of the hours. It's really interesting. A lot of them had similar vibes, but some of them had very specific different ones, like we will be calm and peaceful, we will help keep each other safe, we will balance being quiet and being conversational. That was unique to this class because they said, a lot of kids said, yeah, I want it to sound quiet, and some kids said, I want it to sound like we can talk sometimes in a medium voice. So we talked about that balance between, you don't always have to be silent, but sometimes you do, especially when others are talking. And sometimes we're going to be conversational in here, and that's okay too. Student thoughts, I asked a few students to offer their ideas. So Sydney Nordley, and forgive me if there's errors, they actually typed this right onto here, so I did not prove it yet. Sydney Nordley says, I think it's a great idea so people can understand how to feel, see, and hear an environment that makes them feel like they have a place to go when times aren't great. Also, they can understand how others feel. Serenity Gaskin, this is a great learning tool for classes and an awesome way to collect new and good ideas. And Cadence Bellinger, I like doing the classroom codes because 1, it gave a lot of kids a voice who usually don't get one, and 2, we can collect everybody's ideas, make them into one, and kind of make rules for ourselves. So what's really interesting about Cadence is she's a very quiet student, but she's definitely a leader. She's a quiet leader. So I liked how she said it gave a lot of kids a voice who usually don't get one. Because I think sometimes she feels drowned out, but she has great ideas. And so this was a way for her to actually express those and get them down on paper. So yeah, that is basically my classroom codes. It was very simple. It didn't take very long, and kids, for the most part, enjoyed it. 6th and 7th graders bought in quite a bit. 8th graders were a little less interested in contributing, so I think it has to do with the developmental level. But I like it better than rules because it's not just me saying you must do this. I'm the dictator and you're the ship, and this is a dictatorship. It was, let's create our dream classroom. What do we want it to look like, sound like, and feel like?